Hello, it's me, Reed.
Hi there, I'm Jennifer.
Welcome. We're here again, doing a listening practice.
We're grateful that you would join us. Thanks for being here today. We're listening along with Psalm 58 for what the Divine Family might be saying to each of us in the situation of our lives today.
Right. I'll read it first. And what we're listening for, because it's a listening practice. Practice means two things: doing things over and over to get good at something, but it's also just a habit of doing something. And we're doing both. We're trying to get better at this, and we're also just doing it regularly. So it's a practice in two ways. So, yes, there's a pen.
If you are so inclined, we invite you to have a pen, something to write with, something to write on as you pay attention. And if you're driving while you listen, because maybe you're listening by podcast, please don't write. But take note of what you hear today. And maybe, grab a quick little voice note on your phone or something like that helps you, or phone someone quick and tell them and ask them to write it down for you.
That would work. But I'm going to read through it first. It's Psalm 58 in the New Revised Standard Version. And we're listening for something that just catches our attention, either an idea or phrase or word or something like that. It's not very specific. But
you read, I'll listen.
There we go. I'll try and listen too. Psalm 58. Do you indeed decree what is right, you gods? Do you judge people fairly? No. In your hearts you devise wrongs. Your hands deal out violence on earth. The wicked go astray from the womb. They err from their birth, speaking lies. They have venom like the venom of a serpent, like the deaf adder that stops its ear, so that it does not hear the voice of charmers or of the cunning enchanter. O God, break the teeth in their mouths. Tear out the fangs of the young lions, O Lord. Let them vanish like water that runs away, like grass. Let them be trodden down and wither. Let them be like the snail that dissolves into slime, like the untimely birth that never sees the sun. Sooner than your pots can feel the heat of thorns, whether green or ablaze, may God sweep them away. The righteous will rejoice when they see vengeance done. They will bathe their feet in the blood of the wicked. People will say, surely there is a reward for the righteous. Surely there is a God who judges on earth.
Well.
Yes.
There's some uncomfortable emotions, at the very least, going on in this psalm. So I think that's the thing I notice more than any specific word. There are a bunch of words, but there's this tone of anger and hurt, and maybe underneath that, fear and cynicism about a situation that is beyond control. And I know what it's like to be in a situation that's beyond my control. Well, that's what I noticed today. What do you notice?
It's also kind of a bathing my feet in the blood of the wicked. I don't know if I'd find much enjoyment in that.
Ew.
But the sentiment, as you say, is like, here's somebody who's really angry or hurt, or, it starts off with, talking to these people in power. Do you do the right thing? Are you judging people fairly? No.
It's quite the rhetorical question.
Yeah, and it's like, no, you do not. You are evil. And I think we all have been in those situations where we've seen unfairness, and we just don't even know what to do. And this person has seen unfairness. And so I can relate to that, where things have not gone the way they should, and you're sort of surprised and angry, and you kind of wish that they'd get their comeuppance. But then this idea that there is evil in the world, but then at the end it says, there is a reward for the righteous.
Mm.
And that God is real. God will judge the earth. I'm not looking forward to bathing my feet in his blood, but speaking metaphorically, I guess it's like, well, try to do the right thing, not the wrong thing. And it speaks to me too.
Mm-hmm.
I can be unfair. Just ask my children. And so I understand that. And so that sort of stuck out to me, this feeling of unfairness in the world, and like you say, lack of control, and wishing there'd be some kind of, something to pay for it.
Something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder what stands out to you as you listen. We'll read again.
This time you're listening for an invitation. God's calling you to something.
This is a sort of a two-way conversation between us and the divine. And the divine doesn't just want us to come with a grocery list of stuff, but they want to be in connection and relationship and communication with us. So listen along as I read this psalm again. And as Reed says, we're paying attention for an invitation. Do you indeed decree what is right, you gods or mighty lords? Do you judge people fairly? No. In your hearts, you devise wrongs. Your hands deal out violence on the earth. The wicked go astray from the womb. They err from their birth, speaking lies. They have venom like the venom of a serpent, like the deaf adder that stops its ear, so that it does not hear the voice of charmers or of the cunning enchanter. O God, break the teeth in their mouths. Tear out the fangs of the young lions, O Lord. Let them vanish like water that runs away. Like grass, let them be trodden down and wither. Let them be like the snail that dissolves into slime, like the untimely birth that never sees the sun. Sooner than your pots can feel the heat of thorns, whether green or ablaze, may God sweep them away. The righteous will rejoice when they see vengeance done. They will bathe their feet in the blood of the wicked. People will say, surely there is reward for the righteous. Surely there is a God who judges on earth.
An invitation. Well, I don't feel like I'm being invited to bathe my feet in blood.
Good.
No. But I'm feeling like I'm invited to recognize that I want to think the best of people. I want to think, our leadership and political figures and whatever mean well. But that's not to say they always do well. To recognize those things that are not right and not being done correctly, that are unfair, and to recognize that. Not so that I can get vengeance, because I don't think I'm called to take vengeance or control the situation, but to pray to God for righteousness to come, and that there is a God who judges the earth and judges on earth. So the invitation for me is, I guess, to be aware and to pray and to be involved, however God wants me to be involved, in bringing fairness and righteousness. Maybe that's a bit convoluted, but that's sort of what was.
That's what you're hearing today.
Yeah.
What I'm hearing today grows out of my own awareness that within me there lies both sort of what is righteous and what still needs healing. So if you want to call that good and evil, both those things are in me. And so the phrase to let that vanish like water that runs away, to let that be trodden down like grass and wither. to allow those parts in me that want vengeance, that want what I think is fair and right, even more than what God thinks is fair and right, to let those parts of me be washed away, and to let what is true and right grow up inside me. Not so much as a like, oh, Jennifer, you have to try and change, but to allow the work that the Divine Family is doing in me to take root, to let the dross be washed away, and to let the good stuff stay. Well, that's the invitation I hear.
What did you hear?
What did you hear? Please take a moment to share with us. We'd love to hear from you. Mm-hmm. And if there are ways that you feel like we can support you in your faith at home during the experiences of life as it is right now, please do be in touch.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to you soon.
See you again. Bye-bye.